一つ、裁定者は裁定をやめることができない。そのために存在しているから。二つ、裁定者は死を経験できない。人間に近づいてしまうから。三つ、裁定者は感情を知ることはできない。彼らは人形だから。
Hey guys, Kukulin here, and today I'm going to be reviewing episode 7 of Death Parade. It's going to be a bit of a long one, and there's going to be spoilers, so be prepared. So, we had another episode that told us a lot about the world today. We finally met Quinn, who used to be working as the arbiter at Quinn Deckham. And Deckham actually took over from her. They were never actually working together, which is what I had thought. Which interests me. We also found out all about who Deckham really is and why he's so special, why Nona's looking after him. God, we found out so much. I guess I'll start right from the beginning, where Kurokami has found the picture book, which seems to be linked to her living memories. From the flashback, I'm not sure whether she was read it as a child or she has a daughter and she read it to her daughter when her daughter was young. But we definitely see a flashback of two women, both with the same long black hair with a white strand in it, and the older woman is reading it to the younger woman. So it could be that Kurokami had a daughter, or it could be that as a young girl she was read it. Could be that she made the story herself while she was living and then read the story to her daughter. What else is awesome is that we found out that Mayu really did stay with Ginty. She's been doing the same kind of thing as Kurokami of deciding, like helping him decide who goes to the void and who gets reincarnated. Which is very good because, I mean, Ginty needs that. And he doesn't quite understand why he's keeping her around. He knows he can't judge her because she wasn't bad. She doesn't deserve to go to the void, but at the same time she lost the game. And by his rules, she should just be going to the void. But he doesn't think that way. He knows that there's something beyond that she shouldn't go to the void because she was quite nice and, didn't do anything bad to the guy during her game. It's quite funny seeing him get all frustrated with her because he really wants to get rid of her, but he can't because he can't judge her. And he's getting more annoyed with Deckham because he's becoming a bit like Deckham with the way he's now keeping a human around. So we met Quinn, who knows quite a bit about Deckham's past and Nona, and her and Nona seem to be friends. She's a very drinky kind of person. Her favourite pastime is definitely getting drunk. Throughout this episode she drank like 6 bottles of wine and passed out. Kind of awesome. Cool character. She was basically talking about how much she hates her job. It's just too much hard work and nobody has time to do it properly. Which is basically what anyone who's worked in an office will say. You get sick of all the amount of work that you get given, so eventually you just stop doing it properly. You do it half-heartedly. That's the problem they're having in the tower right now, is that people aren't doing their job with pure conviction, and Nona wants to try to fix that. Which brings us to our next thing. Nona gave Deckham his emotions. Like, what I showed at the beginning, the 3 rules of being an arbiter, Deckham breaks those rules because he has emotions. Nona implanted emotions into him as an arbiter, which is interesting, because we know that arbiters aren't born, and yet they're created somehow, and there must be some limit to how they're created, otherwise they just create an infinite amount of them to be able to keep up with the workload. We also saw Deckham's pastime, which, as we knew, was building mannequins. What we did not know was that the mannequins are what's left of the bodies of humans after they've been reincarnated. Their bodies turn into the mannequin pieces and normally they just get thrown away. Deckham doesn't like that. He collects the pieces, he uses his magical threads to join them back together and make them look human again. He dresses them and then he puts them in the bar for decoration. We also found out that arbiters lose their memories of the people that have come to their bar after a certain amount of time, which is quite sad. Like, that's something that arbiters like Nona and Decim themselves don't quite like, but nobody else seems to really care about it too much. But I mean, I do find that quite sad, because Decim has emotions as well. He feels good or bad depending on who enters his bar, and yet, just like all the other arbiters, as far as we know right now, it may turn out to be different. It may be that he can remember them and he's just pretending. But as far as we know right now, he still has all those memories wiped from him every time that a pair of customers leaves his bar. Perhaps more vital to the story, we've seen that Nona is specifically selecting which people get sent to Decim. She's going down to Castra and making sure that in the next episode Decim's going to have a special pair of guests that was supposed to be given to his special case arbiter. So it's something that's going to be a very interesting episode. We're going to have very interesting characters who maybe are both psychopaths or are both, I don't know, VIPs in the dead world. I don't know how they decide who needs special cases. They could both be psychos, they could both be saints, one could be good, one could be evil. We don't know. We'll see when it happens, I guess. It's going to be a very interesting episode. And at the same time, Oculus, who is in charge of the whole dead world. Like, Nona's in charge of one of the towers, Oculus is in charge of the whole dead world. And Oculus is breathing down Nona's neck because he knows something is up. Nona knows that she hasn't got much time before they find out what she's done by creating Decim. So she's trying to speed up the process by giving Decim a special case. And I'm guessing it's just because she wants to see some of the emotions that she put in Decim come to fruition and see what he does based on that. Like, she's trying to change the dead world system, but she doesn't want to get caught before she can say, look how much better it is this way. She wants to be able to show results and say, what about if we do it like this? So she's just trying to do a new thing in the organization, but I mean, if she gets caught, who knows what they do to spirits? I mean, I'm calling them spirits. We don't know what they are. Demons? Underworld dwellers? Who knows? I mean, they're not human. They're created, and they live for hundreds and hundreds of years, but we don't know how they die or pass away, or if they get a reincarnation cycle or what. All we know is that if Oculus catches her, she's going to be in deep, deep trouble. And we don't want that. We love our Nona, and we love our Decim. So the next episode is called Death Rally, and we'll be seeing the special case ones that are coming to Decim's bar. Should be awesome. I rate this episode, I don't know, I really want to give it a 9 out of 10 just because of how much we learned. But I mean, not too much happened, but yeah, screw it. I'll give it a 9 out of 10. It was a good episode. We learned so much of the backstory, and I love this series so much with the way it's going. So yeah, it would be amazing to see how it keeps going on. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time, guys.